Welcome to the Gus Alva Perspective, a video cast that is aimed at elevating the notion of gratitude and abundance over the mindset of fear and scarcity. Again, opposing forces that might either elevate or diminish our overall experience of life. The topic that I'd like to touch on today is how is it that we might be able to get things accomplished with honey rather than with vinegar? Now, think about this adage: you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. And suggests that kindness or diplomacy or positivity are oftentimes more effective in achieving goals as well as fostering cooperation versus harshness, criticism, or negativity. So, as you can see, this principle is applicable in multiple aspects of life. This includes personal relationships, professional environments, and broader, yet social interactions. And through this video cast, we're going to be exploring the reasons why a positive approach is more effective and how to implement this strategy in different settings. So, let's take a look at the power of positivity. The reason that you want to foster positivity is that it helps build trust as well as rapport. When people feel respected and valued, they're more likely to cooperate and collaborate, right? If we're kind to others, that makes people feel good and it encourages open communication. If we are motivational in our interactions and we are encouraging, well, that positive reinforcement motivates individuals to perform better. Recognition, praise, affirmations, these are all good for boosting people's morale as well as their commitment. When you encourage others, it fosters this sense of intrinsic motivation where individuals are driven by their internal satisfaction rather than external pressures. And if you're able to de-escalate situations by having a calm, positive approach, you can help de-escalate a lot of conflicts. If people feel heard and they feel respected, they're more likely to find amicable solutions. If you're attacking others, good luck, right? When we encourage collaboration rather than confrontational issues, that helps with disputes. It helps in coming up with mutually beneficial outcomes. We've always talked about mental health and we've talked about positive interactions that might help people feel supported and more resilient, especially when they're faced with challenges. The best way of reducing stress is to be kind and to be positive. And that makes things easier than to handle difficult situations in a constructive manner. So, how do we implement a positive approach? Well, one very important thing is to listen in an active manner. If you show genuine interest in others, that'll actually help demonstrate an understanding of what the other person is trying to get across. That'll foster deeper connections. When we express gratitude, man, that carries a long way. Regularly expressing appreciation for the efforts and qualities of others helps us greatly. Gratitude truly does strengthen bonds and promotes a positive atmosphere. When we give criticism, it should be constructive in nature. If we're giving feedback, we got to focus on positive things. We've got to highlight positive things, and that'll help so that people don't become defensive. Now, bear in mind that, if we're addressing conflicts with a solution focused mindset, that's always going to be better. If we just hone in on the negative things, that actually creates a bit more of a detraction. Encouraging open dialogue and taking a look at different viewpoints before making a decision isn't a bad idea. If we use positive influence, we inspire change. And when we take a look at how we might advocate for optimism and respect, that'll then help with attracting more support as opposed to using negativity or aggression. And so the important thing here is, man, honey will get you a whole heck of a lot further than will vinegar. If you take a look at negotiations and you're approaching discussions with empathy and a willingness to compromise, that's going to lead to further success. If you deal with negativity by staying calm and composed, you can de escalate a situation. If you empathize and try to understand, that'll help in, again, soothing down, again, some of the heated argument that might come about in someone. So we talk about maintaining positivity, but it's also very important to set boundaries. And we need to make sure that we are setting appropriate boundaries and practicing self-care, because there are many who will try to jump over that boundary line that we set. We need to balance being assertive. You got to be firm, but you got to be kind also. Positivity, by the way, doesn't mean that you're avoiding difficult conversations or being overly lenient. Quite the contrary. You can be assertive and clear about expectations, but maintain respect. And by finding solutions rather than assigning blame, a videocast that we addressed on previously called the blame game, we can come up with positive solution-oriented approaches that encourage good problem-solving skills. So you can see the principle of achieving more with honey than with vinegar underscores the effectiveness of a gentle approach, a positive approach, a respectful approach in accomplishing goals and building strong relationships. And a mindset of gratitude and abundance helps us maintain positive interactions that will build trust, that'll motivate individuals, and that facilitate conflict resolution. So implementing this approach in personal or professional or social contexts helps us in having a more satisfying set of circumstances in which we live. And although challenges exist, maintaining composure and practicing empathy and balancing assertiveness can help in overcoming whatever obstacles that we face, and ultimately lead towards a setting in which we're utilizing more honey and less vinegar and getting things accomplished, which ultimately would lead towards a more harmonious and successful outcome in the endeavors that we're after. I thank you for joining us on the Gus Alva Perspective on this thematic of touching base on, is it better to use honey or is it better to use vinegar? Thank you so much. Have a great rest of the day.